Exciting times. We've got a knit-along coming.
Knit-along.
We are live and we never start early or late, so we are waiting for the clock to say 6 p.m. here in Norway, in Central Europe. We've got a clock behind us actually, over there.
What? I lost some things.
What did you lose?
There was a lot of these.
Well,
I only two.
do you have your circular so you can cast on? Yeah, this knit-along is a little bit of a thing.
I've
It's not
done,
going
I
as we
done
planned.
part one. I've done what
Yeah,
I need
yeah, but where is it?
in the car.
Okay. Well, we'll have to explain in a bit. Okay, hi everyone,
Hello.
and welcome to Sit in It for a Bit, the knit-along, with your hosts.
Arne and Carlos.
And we are Arne and Carlos. We are here to do this knit-along, and we're also doing our weekly podcast, as we always do. And we've been doing Sit in It for a Bit for a few years now. But I think with this knit-along, we've gotten a lot of new people that have come in.
I think we have a lot of new viewers,
Yeah.
so we should introduce ourselves properly this time.
Yes, I agree.
You start.
Okay, so everyone, we are, as always, your hosts, Arne and Carlos.
And Carlos.
We're from Norway. We are designers. We come from the fashion industry. We used to work in ready-to-wear before we ended up doing this.
Yeah.
And we started our YouTube channel. Well, let's go a little bit further back. We left the fashion industry in 2010. And we did a couple of books.
Yeah. Then we wanted to have a change in our life, and we did our first book with the knitted Christmas balls.
In 2010, patterns.
And then we did, I think we altogether did 10 books or something.
We've
and
done 10
then
books.
We decided to go live or go on YouTube.
We started our YouTube channel in 2015. And in 2020, as you all know, the pandemic hit the world. We extended, originally we were doing tutorials. And then with the pandemic, we kind of expanded into the podcasts. Yeah. Originally, it was to kind of get us through a crazy lockdown. But then everybody kept joining, and we kept getting all these people in our podcast telling us how we saved their life. And actually, you guys saved our life too. It, it goes two ways.
And you helped us.
Yeah.
Because we had something to do. And
Exactly.
we talked to people. It was like, we called it the quarantine podcast because we didn't go anywhere at the time.
And then the quarantine podcast became Sit in It for a Bit, and which is what you're watching now. Sit in It for a Bit is not really a knitting podcast because when we were in quarantine, there was a lot of stuff going on. So it was more about sharing our life. And we've kept doing that. We share our lives. We've done mainly videos on knitting here on YouTube, but it's a lifestyle channel. And we've got a lot of other stuff here. There's gardening, there's quilting, there's patchwork, there's embroidery, there's crochet, there's cooking.
Which can go terribly wrong sometimes.
We're gonna get to that as well. So it's a lifestyle channel with a lot of different things. Yeah. And welcome. If you're a new viewer, welcome to our podcast. And in February, it's a special month.
Because we have the knit-along.
The knit-along, in addition to the regular podcast.
And we take it slowly now. So we're going through the knit-along like little by little.
Little by little.
Today I was finishing my rib in the car because Carlos is my chauffeur at the time because he has his driver license now. And I managed to leave my rib in the car.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's
I have mine.
But Carlos has his rib.
Yeah,
but I have
somewhere.
other things.
So anyway, we forgot to mention, we are from Norway, if you don't know, and we live on top of a mountain in a beautiful rural setting, and we live in a very isolated world. So even when we were on lockdown, it still felt normal to us.
Yeah, because we normally don't see people.
Yeah.
So it was like normal.
Now you may wonder what's outside the window. This does not look like a rural countryside location in Norway. And that's because we are in Oslo and we're all dressed up and ready to go out. We've got dinner tonight and a very important meeting tomorrow. So we've relocated from our train station into a hotel in Oslo.
Yeah. So this is the clock, in front of the central station,
Yeah.
the railway station.
So
So
we
we
are-
are close to a railway station.
Yeah, we're bang in the middle of the center of Oslo, just by the train station. We're staying in a really nice hotel called The Hub. And it's one of the 2 hotels that we tend to stay in when we are in Oslo. And this is also where we also organize knitting cruises. And the people that join our knitting cruises, usually we book them into this hotel, which is really cool. It's very modern, a little bit too modern sometimes.
Yeah, it was really difficult to get up into the room. So
Well, it was difficult to get into the elevator
in
today.
the elevator. So
Yeah.
because you went into the room and I went shopping for some wine
Well, no,
records.
but originally when we checked in,
Then we didn't get anywhere. But when you went back to the room and I came later, I put my card in front of this machine and I pressed the floor, and there was a door opening and I went in and I ended up in 9th floor.
yeah, you got
I
into the wrong door.
so I had
You
to
got the
get out.
wrong
That was the
elevator.
last floor, so I had
Yeah.
to get out.
And originally, when we were checking in, the card wouldn't work, so we couldn't get into the elevator. Apparently, if there's no internet in this hotel, it all goes to hell. So
You're locked in the hotel.
yeah.
So-
So anyway, it's a great hotel. It's very modern. It's very cool. Originally, it was built in the 50s. It was built when Oslo held the Olympics in the 50s, and it's been completely
Yeah,
refurbished.
it's very nice
And
actually.
yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
So
very cool, and it's very close to the Munch Museum and to
Yeah.
the opera.
And
So-
today-
and to the center of the city.
yeah, today we went a little bit into the Munch Museum. We're members. The Munch Museum was opened in 2021 in October.
Yeah.
And we go there whenever we are in Oslo. It is the must place to go to get inspiration for us. And if you ever come to Norway, and if you ever have 24 hours in Oslo and you're wondering what to do, we highly recommend you to put Munch, the museum dedicated to Edvard Munch, on top of your list. No other artist in this world has a museum with 13 floors to himself. It's amazing.
It's very nice. And,
Yeah.
and you also have the opera, and then you also have the Deichman Library.
Oh,
The
beautiful.
library is also beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's been nice. And I made myself a new hobby today
Mm-hmm.
because I decided now that every time we're in Oslo and we go to the Munch Museum, I will buy a postcard
Yeah.
and put it in my scrapbook.
So,
So a new postcard every time we go to the Munch.
Where-
And the postcard I chose today is this one of the horse in the snow. That's the postcard for the day. So this book will be full of postcards and stuff.
yeah, we love the Munch Museum. It really is very inspirational to go there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're ever here, you have to come and you have to go and see the Munch Museum and enjoy a lovely time here in Oslo.
Yeah.
So, as we were saying, we are a lifestyle channel and we do more than just the knitting. There's a lot of other stuff going on. And we just recently had a very interesting episode published,
Yeah, we made the cake.
Dolly Parton cakes.
I think we failed big time. And
No, we didn't.
no, actually, it was very good,
the
but,
f- the-
but
the-
we didn't have all the stuff that we needed. We didn't find it. But please, we don't send it. We
Yeah.
have so much Dolly Parton cake at the moment.
Yeah.
You see, I try to fit into this sweater, and the cake doesn't help.
Yeah,
So too much cake.
We are freaking out. So we did an episode where we baked the Dolly cake. The road to success was very rocky, but we ended up getting there,
Yeah.
and it tasted amazing.
It was
really, really
so
good.
good.
But certain
We can't eat more.
yeah, certain ingredients we didn't find, in the sense that we just picked something in the supermarket, not knowing whether they existed or not. And what we didn't think about was that when we did the episode and we had these kind of replacement things, that you all were going to be thinking about us in your kind and warm way, thinking that we should get the ingredients. But I'm going to give you some numbers now, okay? We have, so far, since Sunday, we have 17,000 views on the episode. Now, if 1% of the people who have viewed the episode, if they decide to send us the real ingredients, the pudding mix or whatever it was, If 1% does that, that's 170 people. Now, if 170 people send us the stuff, say they do the cake, they send us the cake mix, they send us say they send us 2 packages of banana pudding mix each, we're gonna get 340 boxes of that, and we cannot handle that.
And the post office is in the grocery store, and they don't have big shelves like that.
No.
I don't think they have space for it.
So we really, I mean, now, after this episode, we have really been very aggressively making sure that people understand that you cannot send us anything, please.
We can't eat more.
So we just cannot handle it. There is no way. And also, there is Dr. Utker, or whatever it's called in Norway. So we can buy it. Now, but we're going to tell you a few truths as well. But I just want to reiterate this. Do not send us any Dolly Parton cake mix. Do not send us any pudding mix, because that will only create problems for us. We don't mean to sound ungrateful. We're very, very thankful for all your kindness, but it is just too much, and we just can't handle it.
I eat it.
No, you don't. No. That's not the problem. So things are not necessarily as they appear. Now, I would say, Arne, you have a very sweet tooth.
I do, but I don't eat a lot of sweet.
That's what we're getting to.
I eat when we bake.
Yeah.
Because I can't let good things go away.
Yeah, exactly. So in our daily life, like in our everyday life, we eat healthy food. We eat things that are made from scratch. We eat a lot of vegetables. We eat protein and all that. But we actually don't eat that much sugar. And since Christmas, when we did have Christmas cookies, until now,
we haven't had cake.
The only sweet thing we had was that, a slice of the cake.
Well, we had the cake.
Well, a slice of it. I had a slice.
I had the rest.
And the dough and all that.
And the dough.
But that's it.
And Eric had cake.
Yeah.
Anna had cake.
And tonight we're going out. Tonight we'll definitely have dessert. But we don't overindulge. We have it occasionally. And we've baked the cake. We've done it. We're not going to bake any more of the Dolly Parton cakes. Been there, done that, right? Moving on.
Yeah. Oh, we have one more episode coming. We have to try the other one.
Well, yeah, we baked. Yeah,
we baked both.
Yeah,
both.
Okay. We've done both. We've done the coconut cake, and we've done the banana cake, and that's it. We've done one each. We've tested them. We've tried them. They're really good, and now we'll move on with our life, and we won't have any more of that cake until Christmas, when we may do, or I think we will do.
We got the Dolly Parton Christmas
cookies. We will
do
those
for
Christmas
as well. So, I think we can have that.
Yeah. So we hope we've made our message clear. Do not even think of sending us the Dolly Parton cake mixes or the banana puddings mixes, because we can't eat them. And if the message is not clear, don't worry. If you're a newsletter subscriber, there's a newsletter coming when we ask for the same thing. Just don't send it. But at the same time, we really want to thank all of you for your warmth and your kindness, and for just being lovely and considerate, and for thinking about us. The problem is there's too many of you, and we can't deal with the potential...
All the cake. All the cake. This is a luxury. It's a first world problem.
Yeah, this is definitely a luxury problem.
Luxury problem. We have too much cake.
Yeah. So,
some places they don't even have water.
Yeah,
and we complain about the cake.
Yeah, you're right.
We should eat all the cake we can get, because one day we might have cake. We'll have cake.
We're saving them.
We save them.
Because Arne loves the packaging too, so do I. So we're saving.
Well, they're also in my scrapbook.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I have to show you more. Look.
Yeah, there they are.
It's already in the scrapbook.
Yeah.
The Dolly Parton banana style and the pudding. Look, and there's the other one.
Yeah.
It's all in the scrapbook.
And just in case you're wondering, the company didn't send us this and ask us to do the videos. We're not sponsored by them.
So it's some of you.
Yeah, it was you guys who sponsored us.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for sponsoring. There's one particular person we should maybe thank extra, and it's Teresa.
Teresa, you are wonderful.
You're a huge sponsor. Thank you.
Thank you. And talking about you, Teresa, the dogs. I brought the dogs with me to Oslo. These are so good. I love them. I didn't lose one stitch.
Yeah, they're great.
They're fabulous. I have them on everything, like all the circulars now. They have the dogs.
Yeah.
Love them.
Love
Should
them,
we talk
yeah.
about Nitolong?
Yeah. Okay. So
talk about
now that we've made our message clear that we cannot handle the cake anymore. Yeah, we are here because we do a podcast every week, and yeah, from last week until this week, we've been mainly at home. Weather's been beautiful.
Yeah.
What else happened?
What have happened this week?
Not much. It's been a quiet.
Well,
It's been a
nothing.
no, not much.
I went out with my snowshoes to pick branches because we want to have leaf of the branches for Easter.
Yeah.
To get some spring in the house. That happened, and see, not much.
Not
happened.
much, no. We've had one.
We've been
very,
working.
Yeah,
We've
we've
been
had a
knitting
very
a lot.
quiet weekend when we've been working at home and doing little things at home. And yeah, that's
Well,
pretty
yeah,
much.
I saw my hand because we have to talk about that because I
Oh,
was
yeah.
I was joking because I have this.
Yeah, you have to show it as well.
If I can show it, it's going away now because I get a new one every week. This is a physio tape.
Yeah, physio tape.
Physio tape, and it helps because of my elbow and my tennis
Yeah.
elbow. And I was joking because
In the Dolly Parton
I think I'm
episode.
lost in translation or something because I said I can. You said I was sick, and I said yeah, I'm on medication, and I showed this one, and then
Yeah.
people thought I were on pills,
Yeah, but
like drugs or
yeah.
something. But I'm not.
no.
I'm like this always.
Yeah. So Arne's medication is pretty much the
I was
tape.
joking. This is my medication, the tape. But actually, this morning I was thinking, wow, I can't feel my elbow, and that's the first time in
that-
6 months.
So that's good.
That is actually good. And
Except-
now I do that treatment with the electric every single week because last time she put that machine on my elbow and I didn't feel anything. So she said, well, maybe you're getting better, so it's time to. Maybe we should go to every second week now.
Yeah, that's
But
good.
I'm very careful with embroidery. I do some embroidery, but very careful
Yeah.
actually. Not like constant.
So we did read some comments of people saying what kind of pills is Arne on, but he's not.
No
pills.
No pills.
Actually, you're the
Actually,
worst.
I'm worse.
You're the worst patient in the
Yeah.
world.
I never.
He won't go to the doctor, and if he gets pills, he'll just say, "Oh, this is nonsense. I'm not going to take it."
I don't
and he
believe in
doesn't.
it.
There's only one pill you believe in.
Which one?
Well, the one for seasickness.
Oh, that one helps. That is so good. So the seasickness, I'm gonna have like a whole bag now. I would spread pills around me if people are sick because they really help. But I don't know. I'm not so sick.
No,
normally.
you're never sick.
I'm never sick.
Except for your arm thing.
My
But yeah,
arm, but you know, I can work with it.
Yeah.
I can still knit.
And we organize these knitting cruises, and there's one coming up in 2 weeks. In exactly 2 weeks, we will be, well, yeah, we'll be in Ålesund in 2 weeks' time, and Arne will be on his seasickness medication, which is the only pill he'll take voluntarily.
Oh, but you know, last time I felt fabulous because I was the last one who went to bed. They were like, the sea was really rough, and people were like going to the rooms, and I was like, why don't you have the pill? Because I didn't feel anything, and that is not normal. Because normally I have to go to bed because I'm a country boy.
Yeah.
I'm not used to looking at the waves. I can look at corn when it blows. It's like an ocean.
but not the
Even
waves.
then I get seasick. If it's a big acre, I can get seasick.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
A lot of people are in the comments asking what the seasickness pill is called. We don't have it here with us, and it's a very long name, so
It's a blue
can't
package.
we can't tell you right now. But if you are coming on the cruise, you will be happy to know that it is an over-the-counter thing.
You can get it in
You can get it in
every
any pharmacy in
pharmacy.
Norway, and you don't need a
And
subscription.
if you're coming and you need them, I can follow you. I
Yeah.
can show you the package.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, but I mean, you can take a photo of the package,
Yeah.
and then you can go to the pharmacy.
I think we
We'll-
should take a photo of the package and send it on email to the people.
No, but I mean, when they get on board, we'll share it.
Yeah, we show the pack. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that is
Yeah.
I tried everything. I tried to have these things around my wrist. That didn't work. I don't do the thing behind my ear.
No, that's
because
too
I heard you can have
severe.
symptoms.
Yeah.
And I don't like symptoms.
Yeah. Arne hates symptoms.
I hate symptoms.
So does the sickness pill make you sleepy?
No, but it says on the package you will be thirsty and you have to be careful with alcohol and you can get sleepy and nothing happened.
Yeah, well, I don't need to take
I
them.
broke every rule and nothing happened. But you see, I also eat raw dough.
And nothing happens.
Nothing happens. I don't think I would have done that if I were in another place, but it's safe in Norway. Well, for me, because I have so many germs I can eat. Is that germs? My great grandmother had a saying: you have to eat at least 10 hair straws before you die.
Oh, 10 hair, yeah?
10
of your hair?
Hair.
Okay.
Because like sometimes like say you find a hair in food, then you go, oh, hair,
okay,
so disgusting. And then my great grandmother said you have to eat 10 of them before you die. It's a saying.
I've heard.
Is it really hard to? It lose something when you translate it, maybe. But if I said it in Norwegian, it's stronger.
Yeah.
Or it means something.
And also the one where you say a little crap. You know, if you eat a little crap, it will clear the stomach.
Yeah.
Like if you eat bacteria, if you have some bacteria, then you don't get easily sick afterwards.
No. Maybe
I know that from
maybe
living.
I have a lot of bacteria.
Yeah, well,
I eat everything.
I learned that, or I know that from living in China. I don't get particularly sick
fine.
with any food because I've had such a good constitution, such a good.
I had food poisoning once. You remember we had the speech in Lillehammer?
Yeah.
I was so sensitive. Oh my God.
Yeah. And then I had one in
and you had
Mexico.
one in Mexico.
Yeah, but other than that, we're fine.
Bye.
Okay, yeah, dirt. A little dirt clears
a little
the stomach.
dirt clean the stomach.
Yeah. So anyway, we are here to do a knit along as well, and it is starting today.
Yeah.
Before we do the first part, we want to share with you the field guide, which is here, which we think a lot of you have. And this is the field guide number 23, Glow, that we have designed or worked with together with Anne and Kay from Modern Daily Knitting. And we designed the 4 patterns. And yesterday we had a little cast-on party with them, which has been recorded on Zoom and which probably is available at the MDK website. So go to moderndailyKnitting.com and you can see the Zoom
party.
The cast-on party. We talked about the patterns, but we thought we would give you a little view in case you don't have the field guide. It is very lovely. The photography is very sweet and very pretty. So here we've got page number 1, which has the hat that we are doing.
That's the knit along hat.
The knit along hat, and then the sweater that we have designed as well. And then we've got the dicky, or what are they calling it? They call it a neck warmer.
It's like a yoke sweater with no body.
Yeah, we call it a dicky because that's what we learned when we were in the fashion industry.
It was a dicky.
Then we have, here's the hat.
That's the one we're working on.
That's the one we're working on.
The one I left in the car.
And here's another one of the sweater. We have got lots of photos of the sweater.
And the mittens.
I love this one because it just says coffee break.
Yeah, that's so Swedish and Norwegian.
It's Swedish, Norwegian,
fika.
and Danish. It's very Scandinavian.
You need to have a coffee break if you drink coffee in between all the knitting.
Finland too. I think Finland is one of the countries in the world where they drink most coffee, and Norway is way up there, and so is Sweden, and so is Denmark.
And I think Sweden. I buy coffee in Sweden when I go to Sweden. They have so good coffee.
Then we've got the gloves, the mittens, which are really nice as well. And the mittens are done in duplicate stitch.
Actually, the red and the white is knitted, and then the rest is duplicate.
So here's the mitten. And I think we can repeat this again in case you weren't in the knit along. So I have a postcard. Actually, Anne and Kay, they sent us all these really cool things. And look, they sent us these postcards as well with our mittens on them and our dicky.
I even have those in my scrapbook.
What?
I took 2 cards for my scrapbook.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So here are the postcards. Arne has them in his scrapbook too.
Yeah, I think I have them.
Anyway, what I would.
Okay, sorry, that's what
So
has
this is the
nothing to do.
mitten. This is the mitten without the duplicate stitch. And if you don't like doing duplicate stitch, you can keep it like this. Oh, there we go.
There,
So what's the difference?
nothing. But these are in the scrapbook.
Those are in the book, yeah. So this is what they look like if you do them without the duplicate stitch, and this is what they look like when you add the other colors. So we actually leave this up to you guys. You can keep doing it this way or this way.
But I would put duplicate stitch. It's so cozy. It's
We
like
love
you
duplicate
paint
stitch.
with yarn in a way. So
And we've got a little bookmark as well that was in the package that Anne and Kay sent. I don't know if this is something that we only get exclusively or you guys can get it, but anyway, we got these. A question about the mittens that I was reading. They were asking if they are in intarsia. No, they're not. It's not. This is not intarsia. This is color work. This is regular stranded
well, actually,
color
I
work.
started them. I can show.
Oh, okay,
Because
great.
I brought how many projects? I have the rib in the car for the hat, and I have the blue brioche sweater, which is my charging knitting, and then I brought.
Yeah. He really drives me crazy with all his projects.
I'm,
and I only
I'm
have
working
one.
on the first one in black and red. So it's coming. So I'm going to finish this one, and yeah, I'm going to make this pair first.
Yeah. So yeah,
So it's color work. Mm-hmm. Is that intarsia? No, intarsia.
No,
is black.
this
No.
is color work, stranded. And when you do the mittens, you get this on the top, so it's very colorful. The patterns are very large, and then on the inside you get a smaller design, and then you have a repetition of the palm, or sorry, of the top of the mitten in the thumb, and then there's an edge around it. So this actually qualifies as a Selbu mitten, even if it doesn't have a Selbu rose. Now, I read in the comments, people are asking if there's a tutorial in the field guide. There could be, but I know for sure that there's one on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, because we have. What did Eric do today? He's making like a playlist.
No,
with,
that's not Eric, that's me.
It's you. You know how to make these
I
things?
made a playlist.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, I'm really good.
Wow.
I'm so good.
I thought Eric was doing it.
No, it's me.
Wow.
So we've got a lot of, we've done like 350 tutorials. So now I'm putting together tutorials that actually are useful for doing the stuff here. And today I've put tutorials on casting, on knitting and purling the Norwegian way, and on increasing. Next week I will follow up with more, and eventually we'll be putting what's it called again? The duplicate stitch. Sorry, my mind.
But we also make these short videos now. Is it tonight we're going to post one or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Because we will make these short ones for your YouTube and from Instagram, where we just show quickly and put some music on it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So I think what's nice now is like we take it slowly because.
Okay, so
we do take it slow. I made a rib in the car today. That is 6 rounds.
Yeah.
And I haven't done more.
So we're very different, Arne and I. Arne is the knitter. I am not. So when Arne knits something, he can knit it 4 times as fast as I do. I have other strong things, that I do. When we work with design, I am much better than when we work with knitting. I can guarantee that. So yeah, while I cast on for the hat, Arne is knitting the mittens, and he's also doing the sweater. So why don't you just show everybody?
Yeah, I can show, like, I saw there was someone want to see how the mitten looks inside. So see now I'm up on the thumb, the gusset. And the inside pattern is smaller, and then the outside will have this acanthus pattern.
I'm sure they're wondering what they look like inside.
Inside? Oh, you might mean inside.
Probably. Because people want to see everything.
Oh yeah, inside. This is how it looks on the inside.
Yeah. That's how it looks on the inside.
And I also brought the sweater because I worked on the sweater when we were on tour in America based
Here
on...
we go, here we go, here we go
I based it
again.
on some other sweaters we made in the Norwegian wool. And so the sweater
Yeah.
is... I'm up to the armholes on the sweater.
Yeah.
And
the sleeve.
that sleeve is the one I'm going to undo. I'm going to take it up all the way down to the rib because it's...
Oh my God.
It's, I tried, I had finished the body and the sleeves and it was too tight. So I need a little bit more volume to get a nice raglan. So this I had to undo, but I had the other sleeve. This one, this is finished.
Oh, don't poke me with those needles. Hello.
Yeah, so this is finished now. So I'm going, and I still have a few rounds on this body, and then I'm gonna rip this out and knit it again. But I really don't have problems doing unraveling.
No,
because
you have no
I think
problems.
it's fun. I like to knit, so if I have to take this out and knit it again, it's not a big deal.
No. Not for you, anyway.
I'm going to knit anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I mean, blah, blah, blah.
So this is under construction. But I have to say the dogs that you, Teresa, send us, they are fabulous. Look, I have a pink dog. On this one, I have a yellow dog. We should have our own dogs.
Yeah.
We should have poodles. Look, a yellow little dog, keeping all the needles
Yeah.
together.
So Arne did all that. Meanwhile, I've done this, and it took me 4 hours to do this. No, 3. I'm exaggerating. It took me 3 hours to do this on Saturday or Sunday.
I don't know.
I sat down and I started my. So I've cast.
I did it in the car, but I did so many mistakes.
He did it in the car while I was driving
Yeah.
in like 10 minutes. I spent 3 or 4 hours doing the rib of the hat. So I have also started, and I am committed to this knit along. And every week I'm going to be doing the homework or what
We're going
we're
to split
supposed
the
to
hat
do.
in 4.
Yeah, we'll
So
talk about
is-
that in a bit.
That is part 1.
Okay, so let's start talking about the Setesdal hat, which is here. We're showing it like this because we haven't knitted one yet. The first
No, because
one,
we're part of the
knit along, yeah. So the first one we knit will be the one we knit here with you guys,
Yeah.
or not here, but
Because
you
we
know.
only made the drawings and,
Yeah.
the chart, and then MDK made the patterns.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the hat we're going to do, and before we talk about today's things that we're doing or have done or you will do, let's talk a little bit about the hat, Arne. The inspiration is
The inspiration is from Setesdal, area in the south of Norway, and I guess a lot of you have seen the folk costume that I got from Gary in
Tacoma.
Tacoma, and the sweater for the folk costume has embroidery on the sleeve, so all the patterns are inspired of the embroidery.
Yeah.
And that is called the Wise Virgins.
And this is the result of the inspiration. Now, as you can see, I'm going to do this just for a little while. As you can see, it is a very colorful hat. It's got 5 colors, and if you can hold the book, Arne, I am going to show the colors. So we've got a red, right? Then there's a kind of like a
gray, light
grayish. There is a blue somewhere behind me. No, that's not the blue.
That's the blue.
There's a blue here. Here's the blue. Then there is a nice mustard that goes with the yellow, and then we have a lovely pink that goes up here with the white and the
That's all the colors.
blue.
Yeah.
So those are the 5 colors, and this hat looks very colorful, and you may think that it is very complex color work.
But it's not, because you only use 2 colors at the time. There's never more than 2 at the same time.
So we've chosen to design a hat that looks more complex than it is. There's 2 things about this hat that are really good. The first one is that the colorway makes it actually look more complex than it is. But you're never knitting more than 2 colors at a time. There's no 3 colors doing, because we don't do that.
No, then we
if we
do
can
duplicate
avoid it,
stitch,
yeah.
if we can.
And then the second thing is that once you knit the pattern from the chart, the color work, once you finish that, that is when you start decreasing and to knit the crown of the hat.
Yeah.
So the crown of the hat is actually in red. So it's the solid color.
And I saw a question someone asked how many hats you can get from the bundle of yarn.
Probably
I
a
think you
lot.
can get more than one because you use some of the colors you use so little, like the pink one. So if maybe you have enough yarn so you can switch. Like I decided to make mine in blue.
Yeah.
I will switch the blue and the red because we can have different hats.
Yeah.
But there's probably enough yarn. Maybe you can make a white hat with and just change the color.
Maybe you can take you can take the pink and the white probably and the blue.
The yellow.
The pink, the white, and the blue, and you can make one in just 3 colors.
But you see how much yarn you have left when you finish one hat. Just see how much yarn you have left, and then you can more or less figure out which one you use.
Yeah. And then another thing about the hat is the pink. We love adding the pop of pink. And that just gives it that little edge,
a little touch of pink, and that's also because the inspiration is from Setesdal. And like when I picked my embroidery for the sweater for my folk costume, I added pink and a blue one that wasn't in the original. So it's nice to have a little pink.
So you can do the hat. You can do the hat this way, or you can tweak it and make it into your own colors. You don't have to use 5. You can use 3.
Yeah, if you don't like one color, skip it and use the other.
And use another one.
Actually, was it Anne? No, who was it from MDK?
I think it was Anne. She was knitting it in 2,
in black and white. She was on her 4th hat or 3rd hat or something. So
it's doable.
Do it anyway.
But I personally, I cast on the red. And I will be doing the version exactly as is on the pattern.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to be doing.
And I'm going to be crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so now we are going to talk about a little bit about what we've done until now. And this is kind of like what we want you guys to do as well. This is going to be the step number 1. And then every week we'll do a new step. We'll tell you after we finish step number 1 what we're going to be doing for next week, and then we'll come in next week and talk about the challenges and the things that we kind of uncovered. And hopefully we will be able to get this done in the 4 weeks time.
So for the hat we do the long tail cast on like we normally do for everything. Sometimes we try other cast ons, but we end up with the long tail because it works and it's very elastic when you do it right, not too tight. Normally when we cast on, we put the finger on the last stitch we make and say that's like half a centimeter before the next stitch, especially on these needles. So you find your way by using the finger when you cast on. And on this one we also have a different rib because we wanted to try another rib, and it's 1 knit and 2 purl.
Well, the reason is because you cast on 111 stitches, and 111 works if it's divided by 3. So we figure 1 knit, 2 purl was an appropriate ribbing. You can also do 2 knit, 1 purl if you want. It doesn't really matter.
It looks actually very good when you see it on this one. It's kind of more.
It's quite stretchy actually, and it actually pulls in a little bit more.
But you can do any rib.
You have to
add some stitches.
Well, I think it's better to do 1 knit, 2 purl, or 2 knit, 1 purl. So stick to the 3. So 1, 1, 2, or 2, 1, 2, 1. I mean, do 2 knit, 1 purl, 1 knit, 2 purl.
If you want to have 2 knit and 2 purl, add the stitch. Then you don't have to add the stitch later.
Yeah. But we're doing it by the book, Arne.
No, we do it.
We
do it by the book.
We're not supposed to change.
No, we're not changing everything. And then a lot of people ask, like, how long tail do you need when
how do you calculate it?
When you do a long tail cast on? And actually, we never think about that. We just
there is a way.
We eyeball it.
Yeah, there's a way to do it, and it is, if you want to spend time doing it, you can wrap the yarn around. I mean, if you're casting on 111 stitches, you can first wrap the yarn around the needle 111 times, but I think it's pretty silly and it's a waste of time. And what if you, in the middle of your count, something happens?
What happens when you do normal casting?
Yeah, so that's silly. What you do is you eyeball it, and when I did it this time, I had a lot left. I had a lot.
But this you use for a stitch marker.
Yeah, no, I had more than this, so I cut it and I wound it and I put it, in my stash. So I had a lot. But there's other times when maybe you don't have enough. Instead of freaking out, all you need to do is so here's my yarn, right? I pull from the inside. So mine is pulled from the inside. So all I need to do if I don't have enough is pull from the outside. And then this is not superwashed. Our Norwegian wool is not superwashed. So you can spit splice it if you want. Spit splice.
Splice.
Or you can
just
tie
leave
it.
them and you
tie a
sew
knot
it in
and then you
later.
sew it in.
Because you have those ends in the tail anyway. You have to sew that in. So if there's two ends in the middle of the rib, it makes no difference.
So spit splice it or tie it.
Yeah.
So take from the opposite side, spit splice or tie, and then you cast on. And then when you finish casting on, you just cut it, and it's done. And then there's no point. There's really no point in doing anything else than that. I mean, just wing it.
Just cast.
Yeah, I see questions in the in the chat. What is spit splice? Can you explain?
That's when
Arne?
you lick the yarn, the ends of the yarn, and then you put it in your hand and you do like you felt it together.
With some
But
saliva.
it needs to be pure wool. You can't do that with like mixes. It won't work. But sometimes, like I've done it sometimes, but sometimes I get a lump. Even if I do this as much as I like. So I do it sometimes, but most of the time I just leave the two ends and I sew them in.
Yeah, I mean, I can do either. Usually, if I'm working on some sock yarn and I don't have enough, I tie, because you can't spit splice sock yarn. But for this one, you can. But I may not do it. I may just tie it.
Or just leave them hanging and then you sew them in later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the you can spray it with water. You can do, if you don't want to spit, you don't have to. But
it's so quick.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So that's the first thing you do. You do your cast on, your long tail cast on. You estimate how much you need. Don't have enough, no worries. Just take it from the other side. Don't freak out about this, because it's such a easy fix. It's the easiest fix in the world. And if you have to tie a knot, oops, something's happening here. And if you do have to tie a knot, you can sew that in later on when you weave in your loose ends. I don't know.
They don't clean windows on the outside late at night, I think.
I don't know. So anyway, that's it. That's the long tail cast on. Then you cast on in this case, there's 110 stitches. And 111 stitches, that is correct. Yeah. And when you do that, when you cast on your 111 stitches, you do your knitting and your purling. Yeah. Now, it does say in the pattern that we use a circular needle, right?
Yeah, I use a circular.
I don't.
No, you like to use the double.
So the pattern, okay, so this is the next point. The pattern is just a suggestion. In my case, I don't like doing small things on circulars. I learned to do small things like the Christmas balls and all that on my double points. So even for a hat, I rather cast on double points. So what I did was, because it's 111 stitches, and then you increase when you finish your ribbing, you do one round of stockinette when you change your needle, and you increase one. So what I did was I cast on 28, 28, 28, and 27, and then I did my ribbing, and then I changed needles, and then when I did my final row of stockinette, I increased my stitch. And this is now I have 28 on everything.
And those needles are not slippery either. So.
No, these are not slippery. Now, the good thing, in my opinion, about the double point, so people love different things. Some people are crazy for magic loop. I'm crazy about the double points. Yeah. Now, the great thing about the double points is I don't need stitch markers, because I have my double points. They work as my stitch markers now. Yeah. And the pattern, the colorwork pattern, it goes on 14 stitches. So it means, because I have 28 on each of my double points, it means I'm repeating the chart. Sorry, not the pattern, the chart. I'm repeating the color work chart twice on each needle. And this, in my head, makes it
Then you
easier to
get the
follow.
rhythm.
I get the rhythm.
You get the rhythm.
And I always know, and this is also, I always know where I am. So for me, personally, the double points is great. Now, Arne, you are going to be doing it in the circular.
I do a circular up to where I start decreasing, then I go over
Yeah.
to...
So what are the good things about using the circular for the hat?
Because it's a little bit quicker, because
Okay.
you slide around like this.
Mm-hmm.
And what more is good? I feel it's just quick.
It's quicker.
I feel
yeah.
it's quicker in a way.
It's a quicker knit, and
But
you don't.
sometimes if I don't have a circular, I also, if I can't
Yeah.
find the circular, then I do that.
And you don't have, when you do your circular, you don't have to worry about the stitches sliding off.
No.
However, I do have to say there's 28 stitches on each. There's
not
28, and that's not much.
No.
So actually, you said it wrong. What I was going to say was it's 28 stitches per needle, so there's a lot of
28
stitches.
is not much.
No, but it's a lot. It's enough.
Oh yeah, it's enough.
You know, if you cast on 3 stitches per needle, maybe it will fall. But with 28, it's still very stable. That's what I wanted to say. And then you
But use whatever you like.
use whatever you like.
So-
I like using the Prim ergonomics. Yeah, there's a thing. Yeah, people are commenting that another thing about the circular is there's no problem with ladders.
No, if you have problems with ladders, you don't. Then you do circular.
Yeah, but I
But
have
normally when you knit Norwegian style,
Yeah.
normally there's not a big problem with ladders, because when you go from one needle to the other, you put the yarn from the last needle over to your finger, and so you tighten it up a little bit when you knit on the round. But you can also, if you have problems with ladders and doing four needles, you can knit the last stitch on every needle. So when you finish one needle, knit the first one on the next.
Yeah.
No, not the last. Yeah, it will be the last, but it's actually the first one you knit. So you knit the first stitch on the next needle, and then you do that all the time.
Yeah, but I personally don't have any problem with ladders, so I'm okay. But let's summarize. So do double points if you want to see if you want to kind of memorize the pattern. It's quicker, it's easier. Your double points look kind of like the chart. In this case, you're repeating the chart twice on each needle. And also when you do your cast on the double points, it doesn't get as tight as it does with the circulars. The circulars, on the other hand, they are faster to knit with. You go faster. You don't get any issues with ladders.
No.
But you may need stitch markers so that you know. I mean, you don't, but
No.
some people may need them. So
I just need the tail, because when you knit the pattern, you kind of read the rhythm.
Yeah.
And normally you get that rhythm very easily if it's an easy pattern, especially for this one.
Yeah. So there's
And it's needle 3 and 3.5.
yeah, 3 millimeter.
That is
for the rib.
What is that in?
People can figure it
Yeah,
out. There's
3
Google.
and 3.5.
So 3 millimeters for the ribbing, and then 3.5 for the stockinette and the color work that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
The reason for that is that we want the rib to pull inwards. We want the rib to be tighter than the rest of the knitting, and the way to do it is to do the ribbing in a smaller needle.
Yeah, because
and then
the
go up a
ribbing
size.
the stitches on the rib will normally be a little bit looser.
Yeah.
So it's good to go down on the needles for the rib.
So cast on your project, do your 111 stitches, whichever one you want to do, the circular or the a double point. If you're doing a circular, I would recommend you get a small one. Usually
I think I use 60 centimeters.
Yeah, but I would even do a 40 centimeter.
You could do that also. Yeah.
Because sometimes with the larger circulars, you may get some issues. If you haven't done this kind of project before.
Not a too big one, because that is so annoying.
No, don't
if
get
you
the
have
biggest
to pull
one.
the string to get around. Like when you finish hats also, if you don't put it over on double, what you call that? Double pointed
Yeah.
needles, You have to pull that string. I don't like that.
I think the 40 centimeter is good,
Yeah.
which is the 16 inches.
I think I have used a 60.
It's a no.
On my
You've
60
done the
centimeters.
60 centimeters,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking of 40 centimeters
I have the
would
same
be
on
good.
this is also 60.
Yeah. So anyway, so do your cast on, and then you do two knit. No, one knit, two purl, or you can reverse it. I'm going to show you the.
No, we follow the book.
Oh yeah, okay, we're following the book. So
It's one knit, two purl, 6 rounds.
6 rounds, one knit, two purl, and then when you've done that, you take your second pack of needles and you start knitting your ribbing onto the larger needle in stockinette. So just knit.
Yeah.
And then when you finish the round, you're at 111. When you finish the round, we ask for 1 increase. Now, why is that, Arne? Can you explain?
Because the pattern needs that extra stitch
to be
to
centered.
so you can repeat the report all the way around.
Yeah, but you need to center it too, right?
It will be centered also. But if you don't have the stitch, you can't repeat the report.
Yeah, that's what we meant. Okay, so that's what you do. You increase 1, and then you're at 112. And that is pretty much what we are doing until now.
So we have to just put the knitting away until next Wednesday.
We have to put the knitting away now, and we need you guys to cast on. And we hope that you have enjoyed some of the tips. Now, I have made a playlist here on YouTube where you can go to our YouTube channel. I think Anna's gonna write it in the comments in the description below. We don't have time because we have a dinner to go and we need to get there in 10 minutes.
Oi.
Yeah, I know. Oi.
Oh yeah.
Whoops. This is what happens when we're having fun. Anyway, there's gonna be a link on the description, but you can also go to our playlist here on our YouTube channel, or go to the blog. Go to the Arne and Carlos website at arnecarlos.com. Go to the blog and you will be able to see a list of videos where we've got the knitting, the purling, the increasing, the cast on, all of these things. Next week, we are gonna be doing the color work. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna divide it in 2. So there is, I believe, 38 rows, is it?
I don't remember.
There's
38
38
rows.
rows. So we're going to do the first 19 rows.
So we're going to knit up to where?
We're going to knit up to where...
Over the pink.
Over the pink, yeah.
We finished the pink.
Yeah.
Because then we have some tricks.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing rows 1 to 19 next week. And we're going to be talking about those rows. Now in those rows, there's some interesting things like carrying of floats that we're going to deal with. We're also going to talk about tension, which is very important. And we're going to give you a few tips and hacks on how to achieve a very easy tension when you're working 2 colors. We've already done videos on that, so we're also going to add them to the playlist. So, and we forgot, or we haven't forgotten, but
we have to do this before we
do
leave.
need to leave because we have a taxi waiting.
No, oh.
Yeah, anyway. We also want to see your progress. So make sure that you take picture of your hat progress, tag it on Instagram, tag it on Facebook, tag it wherever, tag it here on YouTube, use hashtags arnecarlos, use the other hashtag modern daily knitting. And if you use both tags, you're going to be eligible to win a prize because we are going to, at the end of the knit along, select a random winner. The random winner is going to win the yarn to knit the sweater, the Valdres sweater, in the guide. So the sweater that Arne showed you before in this guide, you're going to get the yarn.
All the yarn you need
for that.
For a sweater.
All the yarn you need for that from Rowan. And Prim is giving away the needles to do the sweater. These are amazing needles and they come in all different sizes.
I love these with the colors.
And look at all these beautiful colors. There is a circular and there is double points. So
2 packages.
You're getting these needles and you're getting all the yarn.
These are size 2.5 to 4.
Yeah. Now, if you haven't gotten the pattern yet and you're wondering where it is, you won't find it in our web shop because this is part of the Modern Daily Knitting program. So what you need to do is go to Ravelry and go to Modern Daily Knitting's Ravelry store and look for field guide number 23, which is the Arne and Carlos field guide. Get the pattern there. You can also go to our blog and you can look at the blog post from last week where we have a list of all the links and resources on this. And it's not too late to join. You can join whenever you want.
You can join next week.
And if you can't find the pattern, make sure to send Modern Daily Knitting an email at hello@moderndailyKnitting.com and they are gonna send you to the right place. Okay?
Yeah.
So Arne,
That's good.
Formalities
That's good.
very quick
Yeah.
because we need to go. Like and subscribe.
And put on your notifications if you're already a subscriber, and put yourself on the mailing list because then you won't miss anything.
Perfect.
And we'll see you next Wednesday.
See you next
we're not
Wednesday.
live.
We are not going
We
to be...
had to film next
Yeah,
Wednesday before, so it's not live. But you can
Unfortunate-
talk to each other.
Yeah,
maybe.
our life is super busy right now. So unfortunately, next Wednesday, we are not available. So next Wednesday, we are posting the podcast same time as usual. So Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central European time. However, it's not going to be live. It's going to be pre-recorded.
Bleep, beep.
We will pre-record it in the morning before we leave for our stuff. And then the week after we'll be live again. So thank you so much for watching and we will see you very soon. Enjoy the knitting, enjoy the cast on, and enjoy the project.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
And we are off.
Yes.
Bye everybody.
Bye.
Taxi's calling.